to travel? We got all the travel buzz here on Smart People, Travel Wise with Alvin Adriano on PHLV Radio.
Hello to everyone on this last Tuesday of December and of 2020. It's been a long year. And goodness gracious, I am so thankful that, for really to have time to reflect and be able to be thankful for all the things that's happened. And of course, be able to spend time with all of you. This podcast was actually born through innovation during the pandemic, and I'm really happy to be able to share inspirations, perspectives, and learn more about one another. And as travel returns soon enough, we can share our stories about exploration. Now, just a little heads up, my name is Alvin Adriano, CEO of TravelWise International, and I'm your host on today's show, Smart People, TravelWise. I'm super excited for our guest today, who's just a wonderful person and contains so much experience and knowledge, and all of our viewers are really going to love what we're talking about today. But first, let's try something a little bit different this time. Let's post about where you want to travel in 2022 and get all of our inspirations going. Comment the next destination or post a picture of where you want to go next. Let's share it with everyone here, and let's share about all the ideas and destinations that you plan on going. Let's end the year with some amazing destinations and post it in the comments below. Now, it's exciting to know that Europe is on the track to open in 2022, and there's been a buzz for travelers to book early and secure their spots. Many people already booked in 2020 have moved their reservations to 2022, and as people become more comfortable with traveling, there has been a very big push to book early. One industry who revolutionized early payment options was the river cruise sector. With their fast-growing sector adding ships and routes yearly, they have the opportunity to bring on seasoned veterans who will chat with us about the future of river cruising. On today's show, we have the very lovely Kathy DeFicentio, Mid-Atlantic Business Development Manager for AMA Waterways, one of the leading luxury river cruise lines based out of Europe. She's a veteran in the industry with over 43 years of experience and began her career in car rentals and then evolved her way to TripAdvisor and then finally to her home, AMA. Known for her passion to support the success of others, Kathy has been the recipient of the Top Supplier Sales Rep by Travel Agent Magazine 5 times. Please smash those heart buttons for Miss Kathy of AMA. How are you doing, Kathy?
Hi, thank you so much for having me, Alvin. It's a pleasure to be here.
Awesome. I'm really thankful to get you here on the last show of this year. It's amazing. We've gotten this far, but there's so much turn up, so much positivity leaving 2022. What is going on in AMA these days?
Oh, Alvin, we don't have enough time to tell you what's going on at AMA Waterways. We've been sailing since July, and we've welcomed many people aboard. During this COVID pause, too, we also christened new ships. We have the AMA Siena and the AMA Lucia in Europe, and we started sailing September 5th in Egypt. Isn't that exciting? We rebuilt two ships. We stripped them all the way down to the steel. So those are like brand new ships. And we started building another ship for South America. So we're going into South America for 2023. We will have a ship on the Magdalena River, and she'll be called the AMA Magdalena. And it's very important to note that because we've had this great build, we have stuck with our policy of whenever we build a ship, we pay cash for it. So AMA Waterways remains 100% debt-free family-owned company, along with being the highest-rated luxury brand of river cruises.
Oh, that's so amazing. I mean, taking this time, we always say that crisis is a true revealer, and there's so much opportunities once you get out of that shock. And it sounds like you guys innovated a lot, taking this time to really reflect on your core values and figure out ways that you can not only survive, but thrive in the upcoming renaissance of travel. What other innovations did you guys do besides adding more ships and celebrating your being able to pay for your ships in cash?
Well, something I'd like to bring up, Rudy, our owner, is an architect and an engineer, and he ironically started several other river cruise companies. So when he started AMA, he wanted to make our ships different than our competitors. So he created our ships with a shallow draft. That means we can sail in shallow water when our competitors cannot. So 3 years ago, there was a 105-year drought in Europe. Do you know we were the only river cruise company who made all of our sailings? And this year there was a little bit of a drought as well. And I myself was on the Danube the first week of November. We were the only river cruise company that was able to even get into the harbor in Budapest. And that's all because of our innovative design, because of that shallow draft. But then again, our ships have what's called a twin balcony. Do you know, Alvin, everyone's long ships are the same size. The only difference is we put a lot less people on them with a lot bigger cabins and a lot more bells and whistles. So we have what's called a twin balcony cabin. Those are 210 to 235 square feet, where our competitors' cabins are usually 170 square feet. We have a real balcony and a French balcony in the sunroom in these cabins. We also have heated pools with swim-up pool bars. We have a second restaurant on some of our ships. Some of our ships have a third restaurant, that new Ama Siena and Ama Lucia. And the Ama Magna, which is a ship in a design all by itself, that one has 4 restaurants and 5 bars. No other river cruise company offers more than 1 restaurant but us. Now, that Ama Magna ship is 72 feet wide, and it still only maxes out at 196 people. That one has a bar as well, a heated pool, and it doesn't have a swim-up bar. Does have a gym on all of our ships. So we have a whole lot of things that our competitors don't. We have an exercise person on our ship. We have exercise classes, and we start every day at 7 a.m. with champagne yoga. And we do up to 8 classes a day.
Oh, that's
and
amazing.
That's all included.
That's so amazing. You know, like when you talk about all these features and amenities that are on these river cruises, you know, a lot of people don't realize that this is a new sector that's growing so fast. You know, we talk about the accessibility, intimate sightseeing, because you're right inside the city, strolling in there, having real to the heart of the streets and museums. But this is a growing sector, and you guys have continuously added. You're saying you added on Egypt. You're moving into South America. I mean, what does the future look like in 2022 for AMA?
The future is bright. We have a lot of bookings for 2022, and we have a lot of bookings for 2023. We had so much interest that we had to open our 2023 bookings a little bit early just to address all of the folks that want to make bookings. So agents are busy. Agents are booking a lot of groups. We have a lot of different charters. We have a lot of different things that we mix up. We have wine cruises. We partner with Ancestry.com. We also partner with Disney and National Geographic. So we have a vast and diverse skill set for our folks. So we offer so much for everybody. There's a little bit for every person.
Oh, that's so awesome. You know, it's great that you guys found innovative ways to, you know, find opportunities to really thrive in this, and having collaborations. We've seen that with the airlines, with their collaborations with Lysol. I think that's really important to leverage those partnerships, because that's where you can build together, because we're all, what we found the most is that community and support is what the entire world needed during the pandemic. So really kudos for you guys for really finding those strategic partnerships to really leverage it during the pandemic.
And quite honestly, we're really proud of that. We partnered with Disney several years ago, and they could have chosen anyone, but they chose us.
Yeah.
And we've been so proud of that partnership throughout the years. And something that's a little bit different with AMA Waterways too is we do allow children on board, and that just goes with the partnership with Disney. We allow children 4 and older.
That's wonderful. You know, and I think a lot of families are looking for unique experiences as well. You know, they've had this time with their families. You know, people growing, you know, my children, they've seen me for 2 years in the house working, and so it's going to be a little bit different walking into the world. But taking vacations, these are meaningful experiences that you can relish from, you know, for the entire of your lifetime. You know, we're talking about like the innovations and expectations on when you board the ship, but for travelers, you know, we're in the new world now. Were there any capacity issues, or what? Can you walk us through what travelers are going to expect when they first board for the first time after the pandemic?
Well, that's a great question. And I mentioned that we sailed this year and we're still sailing, and we sailed last year. And in order to sail in Europe, we have to be in complete compliance with the EU guidelines. That said, the EU guidelines change. rapidly and daily sometimes. So we posted on our website what the guidelines are. But right now, the capacity is at a maximum of 100 people. Normally, our ships max out at 156. So with that, we've been sailing at 100 or less. Part of the guidelines are that we have everyone vaccinated. So our whole crew is vaccinated, every employee is vaccinated, and everyone on the ship must be vaccinated in order to sail. Our crew is wearing masks. If you're in your cabin, you don't need to wear a mask. If you're traveling from your cabin to a public area like the lounge or to the restaurant, you do have to wear a mask. Depending on where you are in Europe, some places do not require a mask, some do. Just about everywhere required us to show our COVID vaccine card. When we were there in November, we had it on our phone. We did hand carry it as well, but folks did ask for it. We reduced our shore tours to 10. We normally have 15, and we're the only river cruise company that does a tour in the morning and in the afternoon. And we're already at a small capacity for the tours. We don't leave anyone out. We just have more guides. Then we do no-touch temperature checks. We also require people to fill out a health form before boarding. And we sanitize the luggage before it's brought on board. But something that I learned during COVID, and I never knew it, but every one of the ship's cabins has its very own heating and air conditioning system that constantly brings in fresh air. And I think that's part of the reason why we were able to sail successfully. Now, our larger spaces like the lounge and the restaurants, that had a similar system, but just on a far more grand scale.
Oh, wow. Wow, those sounds like amazing ships. I can't wait to get on one of them and experience it.
Well, we would love to welcome you on board.
And that's the thing, like, having this time to reflect and kind of like check out your bucket list, because during these 2 years I've like added a lot more destinations, things I wanted to see, just because I've been flipping through and stuck in my house. So I'm really excited to share this with all of our viewers who've never experienced river cruising. For all the people has the river cruise market changed at all? Was there things that now after the pandemic will become signatures or staples in the industry now?
That's a tough thing to predict. And what I can tell you is what we're doing now. And there's different things. Not all river cruises are the same. And some of the things that we do, we get a broader spectrum, a broader scope of the demographic. So some river cruise companies cater to people in their 70s and 80s. And we cater to, like I said, a broader demographic. We have 25 bikes on all of our ships. We have bike tours. We have hiking tours. I mentioned our exercise person. So people will choose from our regular tours to hiking and biking and special edition things. So we are constantly looking to evolve. So we really haven't done anything differently. We continue with our happy hour every day, our chef's table, alternate dining, multi-course wine paired dinner. So we're always innovating, but we haven't really had to change anything more than to wear a mask, to reduce our group tours. So it's something that we did do, but it has nothing to do with the pandemic, is we are very conscious of being stewards of our environment. So we did go very, very green. Instead of using plastic bottles on board, we changed to a biodegradable bottle for waters. So we put water in the cabins, water on the tours. We do different things to make sure that we are as green as possible.
Oh, that's awesome. I think there's a big push. Again, a lot more people are looking for purpose and meaning, and sustainability and environmental consciousness has been an ongoing priority for a lot of people. And I'm so glad that you recognize as part of your initiatives in the upcoming years. That's great for you guys.
And that comes from our leadership. They are just, I can't say enough wonderful things. Our leadership is a family-owned company. I mentioned Rudy Schreiner, our president and CEO. His wife, the beautiful Christine Karst, is another co-owner. And we have Gary Murphy, who is an industry veteran. His father, Jimmy Murphy, was one of the original partners with Rudy and Christine. And Gary's dad started a company called Brendan Vacations, and he sold that to get the money to start AMA in 2002. So since our inception, we are a very family-owned, hands-on company. So Rudy, Christine, and Gary are always there thinking of something new and exciting to do for us and our guests.
Oh, that's so exciting. And they brought in, and you said Egypt. Egypt is coming for next year?
No, we started sailing in September of
Oh,
this year. So we have a ship called the Amadalia,
okay.
and she sets sail on September 5th. We start off for 3 nights in Cairo, and we stay at the Four Seasons, which is fabulous. We do the tours at the Pyramid, the Sphinx, the new museum in Cairo. Then you fly down to Luxor. We do 7 nights Luxor on our ship.
Mhm.
So you see all of the sights, the Valley of the King and Queens. We do the different Falaka rides and different temples and things. We include a whole lot. We also offer Dubai and Abu Dhabi as a pre-tour, or Jordan, which Petra's on my bucket list. I don't know about yours. And then we offer a post in Israel. So that's a really neat cruise. A lot of people have done a lot of things. They're looking for something different. So think of Egypt in the lap of luxury that includes everything. We even have Egyptologists on the ship. Now,
Wow.
the ship only holds 72 people, so it's a little bit smaller. Our smallest ship is in Africa, which I just did in September, which is also something really cool for somebody that's looking for something different.
That's awesome. And I wanted to ask you, because you mentioned all these unique and different itineraries. Were there a push or a trend of certain itineraries that were more popular during the pandemic? Maybe, like any itineraries in Europe or in Egypt or anything that were more popular?
The most popular always are the Rhine and the Danube.
Really?
So that's with or without a pandemic, they are always the most popular. France was very popular this year as well. So we've been sailing successfully. Portugal is hugely popular too. South Africa normally is sold out years in advance. So there's some things that are just always, tried and true that people want to go and see.
That's awesome. I love it. I love it. I love the fact that you guys have been so innovative and positive throughout this whole challenging time, trying to find ways to create opportunities for people to travel and explore, because that is, we now know, is a human element that we must satisfy all the time. So I did want to ask, we know how challenging it was, but what was one great thing that came out of the pandemic for you guys?
One great thing came out was our continued partnership with our travel advisors. We value our travel advisors. We did everything we could to support them. Every Wednesday, we have our own little travel show for our travel advisors called Webinar Wednesday. And just that relationship, I personally do different presentations to help support travel advisors with their clients. So the relationship has grown even more than it was before. It was always great, but now we're recognized as the most innovative with our travel advisors, with the things that we've initiated through COVID.
That's awesome. And like I mentioned before or earlier, community and support is one of the biggest things that we learned that we need during this pandemic. We can't do it alone. And as an industry, we've all been each other's, been able to lean on each other's shoulders or on each other's back. So that's great that we were able to recognize these partnerships. So where would you want to go next? I know you've already been traveling, but where's your next destination for you, Kathy?
Well, the sky's the limit. I really can't pick a next destination. Wherever the company says I need to be, I will be there. We have so many great destinations. I can't even pick one. But wherever it is, it's going to be fabulous.
I'm sure it is. So, thank you so much, Kathy, for being here. I know it's holiday season, but thank you for being able to spend a couple minutes in sharing your insights and some updates about what's going on with AMA. Is there any last minute tips or advice that you wanted to share with with the viewers today?
I do have a few tips, and the first tip is always to use a travel advisor. That is your best friend when you're making your travel plans. Check out the company you're booking with. Make sure they're solvent. Then take travel insurance. A lot of people don't realize that their insurance here in the US is not going to translate to a foreign country. So that's very important to take travel insurance. Something I do, and it's just a force of habit, is to bring a color copy of my passport and put it in my suitcase. I also have it on my phone, and I have it in my computer so that if my passport is lost or stolen, I can print that color copy, because that's what you need to go to the embassy to get a new passport. And now we have our COVID cards in our phone as well. So little things become big things, and they're very, very important to have a great vacation. But the most important thing is to use a travel advisor.
Oh, thank you so much, Kathy. Again, sharing so much knowledge and, you know, I guess growing up in this industry and being able to see the ups and downs and all the little intricate tips and advice. It's so glad to have you on here and being able to share all your insights with us. Thank you so much.
It is my honor, Alvin. Thank you so much for having me. And I'd like to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Thank you, Kathy. We'll have to have you on again. Bye-bye.
I would love that. Thank you.
It was such a pleasure to have Kathy on the show today. Her passion and spunk is energizing, and her positivity for the future of travel, especially in river cruising, is so infectious. I just love inviting some of the best travel professionals to share their experiences with us. The stories that we tell are what keeps our humanity alive, and it's these stories that translate in traditions which become our culture. Partners like AMA Waterways, who carefully curates your river cruise itineraries, they ensure a variety of unforgettable and enriching experiences that connect you to history, culture, gastronomy, and people in every destination that they visit. And here at TravelWise, we're delighted to share with you some of their featured itineraries for 2022 and their 2023 sailing seasons, all of which are now available for booking. So please discover river cruising with AMA Waterways, and we'll help you find your sailing today. Thank you again for all of our viewers who are able to spend a few minutes of their day to learn more about river cruising. Please reach out to our award-winning travel agency, TravelWise International, at 301-248-8898, or visit us on the web at www.itravelwise.com. We're here to plan extraordinary vacations that help you enjoy it instead of manage it. And don't forget to catch our show every Tuesday at 12 p.m. Pacific Time or 3 p.m. East Coast Time on PHLV Radio. Available on Facebook, YouTube, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. But better, you can even catch us on PHLV Radio app, available on all iOS and Apple devices. So thank you all of our viewers and listeners who've been able to join us on today's show. Please have a safe and happy New Year's. Until next time, smart people, travel wise.